Okay, let's begin this lesson by saving out a new scene. And we're going to call this scene Zombie Rig Poses. Now, this is just going to be a test case kind of scenario. So I'll probably just delete the scene after we're done with it. And that's why I'm just creating one just especially for what we're doing here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and select our mesh. And I'm going to turn up the display subpatch level to 3. And this may slow down our feedback here with the recording a little bit, but I'll just try to take it slow. And I'm going to select Auto Key, and just move out here to frame 10 or so. And I'm just going to start selecting different parts of this character and moving him around into some different poses. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be inspecting the mesh and how well it's responding. So now I'm moving around the left arm, and I can see that actually it looks pretty good. Paying close attention here to the underarm, sometimes that is a problematic area. But it looks like we're getting a little bit of shifting, as if the muscle here were shifting along with the arm, which is certainly more natural looking. And yeah, I think that's okay. Maybe a little bit too much there. That's something that we could probably correct with some changing some weight maps around. I'm also going to check here. This is another problem area sometimes, and that is the joint of the upper arm and lower arm. And let's turn off bone x-ray for a second. And you can see, again, we may have a little bit of pinching there. This is a pretty strange kind of character because the forearms are so much bigger than the bicep area. It's kind of hard to say, exactly what this character should look like when it deforms. It's all a matter of, does it look right to you? And if it does, well, then it is. And if it doesn't look right, then go back and make a few changes. You might decrease some weight here on some points right there at the forearm, which might not make it so it might not bulge out so much. It might actually lose a volume. But overall, I think that that's not bad. Even though we did spend quite a bit of time working on these weight maps, we really kind of did go through some of it pretty quickly. Let's just check the left hand here. I would fully expect that it would be exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to say that's all right. And let's actually select the hand itself. Go ahead and put that through the paces. Pretty good. Let's bank it a little bit. Looks all right. And later, when we get into advanced rigging, I'll show you how to set up that fall off and the rest. I'm going to select some fingers. Look at that. Pretty nice right there. I like that. We get some nice creases actually. And we get the thumb. So go ahead and lock that. That's not so bad. Might be able to be improved a little bit. Just like that. Let's check some spine. I'm going to select spine 2, 3, and 4. And let's bank them a little bit. Not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. Select the pelvis. It's a really important one. Looking good. what kind of pose that is. And finally, let's select, almost as if you've seen a dainty little flower. Yeah, that's looking okay. Maybe losing a little volume here around the rump. Let's actually extend that pretty far. And that actually is not bad at all right here in the crotch area. It's another area that can become a problem. And I'm pretty satisfied with that. Finally, actually, let me pop in the schematic view here. I'm going to select the left foot roll. And that's the actual bone that we'll be using to control the foot. And I'll go into more detail about all the bones later and which ones to use and which ones not to use. And at the toes here, we've lost a little bit of volume on the top. When we bend it, you might go in and select the points on the top there and give them a little more weight. We assign a value of 50% to those, and that might improve it. The other thing you can do is actually to add some subdivisions to the polygons using bandsaw, and sometimes having more points will give you more options in terms of weight mapping. So, maybe that's an area you might want to fix. And look at that, we've got a big problem there with the head, and our chin isn't following quite as much as it should. So that may be for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is a huge chin, and it covers a lot of area. So it may be that one of these bones here is unduly influencing it. It could be that in setting up the weight maps, I've made an error somewhere where I accidentally selected some points and gave it some weight, and that was assigned to some other bone, which is causing it to be left behind. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording and investigate that, and then we'll come back and fix that hopefully in the next lesson.